Hey, happy Thursday to everybody. Janet Harvey here. Be the cause of life on purpose, our 5 minutes daily dose of inspiration and a quick practice around a word for the day. And the word for today is be the cause of aspiration. Now, you might be wondering about why I picked that. I have been working as a professional coach for almost 28 years now, and I work with people in all kinds of domains. Probably most frequently leaders inside of organizations, from the boardroom to the front line, both individually and teams. And as well, I work with anyone in any walk of life who's seeking to invite change into their lives and to live on purpose. And the word aspiration is something I wove into my work about 15 years ago because I kept noticing that people were fairly tunnel visioned about what it is that they want in their lives. In fact, even answering that question, what do you want? Incredibly challenging. I even personally had this experience, and something I'm aspiring to do, which is to publish a book this year. And I went to an event, and I went there with an open mind and feeling very much like a beginner, vulnerable and ready for learning. And oh my goodness, I had such a difficult time connecting to answer the question, what do I want? And maybe for many of you who are listening to this, you are aware that in your own lives, you are very good at contributing to other people, generous and joyful, and get a great deal of satisfaction out of serving, and maybe even you're a follower of servant leadership. And unfortunately, at some point, it can be very easy to lose sight of our own magnificence, our own uniqueness, and to remember to be a servant to self and to restore our own access to self so that there's more of us available to do the work we want to do in the world. And aspiration became part of what I discovered as a way for leaders to definitely connect back to self. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about something that is bigger than what you can see in your comfortable and familiar territory, professionally or personally. You have a set of wisdom, and you have a set of knowledge, and you have experience in your life. And aspiration says, and then what? What lives just on the other side? Jack Canfield often is quoted as saying that what you really want in your life is always going to be outside your comfort zone. And I think he's right about that. So what I have seen happen with leaders who allow themselves to pause and reflect and identify what is it that is so compelling to me that I'm willing to risk anything that I see as my identity or my way of working in the world that is my version of excellence. So maybe now you're starting to see there's a bit of a push-pull that happens here. Why would anybody give up the thing that is their source of excellence? Well, so you can have a new source of excellence. And yet, going from here to there might in our minds seem like a really obvious pathway. Our hearts and our gut instinct, however, will tend to protect us and create its own sense of barriers and boundaries that keep us from stepping out of the comfort to the discomfort. One of my favorite leadership authors, she's actually an anthropologist by training, Margaret Wheatley, talks about being willing to be disturbed. And I've also adopted this because until I can be curious and have a sense of wonder about what lives outside my comfort zone, it's going to require that I be willing to be disturbed by it for it to be something that's worthy of giving my energy and attention to aspire to something bigger, greater, grander, more satisfying, more fulfilling, whatever the adjective is that you have as your own, perhaps, guiding principle or life motto in the world. So I invite you to think about aspiration as the practice today. What is it that's outside your comfort zone? What's a little bit beyond the time horizon that you're currently setting goals or intentions for something that you want in your life? Who are the relationships in your lives that you say to yourself, oh, I could never pick up a phone and call them, or, oh my gosh, I'm sure if I wrote a letter, they wouldn't talk to me. My favorite story about this is Richard Branson, who I have admired from a distance for a long time. And a few years ago, we wanted him as a speaker for an event, and I courageously recorded a video and sent it to him. And while we didn't get him for the speaking, I got over my fear of asking. He's another human being. And I got a wonderful reply back. That time didn't happen, but I busted that barrier, or I aspired to be able to learn from and be with people that are in a sphere and scope in the world larger than my own. But it began with my commitment to having an aspiration. So those are it for today. I hope you have fun finding your own sense of aspiration in the world, personally or professionally. And we'll see you tomorrow. Janet Harvey signing off. Be the cause of life on purpose.